Demonschool is not an RPG, at least in a traditional sense. You're not rewarded with experience points, levels, or seemingly anything resembling any type of progression upon finishing a fight. What it is a little bit more complicated, and I feel like I have to use my words carefully, because if I don't, I'm gonna misrepresent the game, like many other reviews you'll see today. And that would be a shame, because Demonschool does something to battles that no other RPG does well. They're tense, yet approachable, and makes you accept death as a minor consequence. Kind of. Also, there's no grinding. I'm Lexi, and I love talking about RPGs, indies, and niche titles. Let's check out Demonschool. Demonschool follows Faye, the last in a long line of demon hunters. She joins an academy where the line between the human and demon realms is thinning. During the day, she goes to class, meets new people, and lives the student life. At night, she searches for cursed artifacts, fights demons, and uncovers a secret linked to the school's strange traditions. Think Buffy the Vampire Slayer mixed with Into the Breach. The footage you're seeing is from the PC version of the game, and this video is sponsored by Isbeard Games. The closest analog to Demonschool is Shin Megami Tensei Persona on PS1. The game uses an isometric view, with 2D sprites on 3D zones. As mentioned, you'll explore the school, the nearby city, and small areas around town. But unlike the later Persona games that make you manage your time, Demonschool lets you play at your own pace. In fact, the day only moves forward when you continue the main story. This gives you a lot of freedom to do side quests, build bonds, and explore as much as you want. As mentioned in the intro, Demonschool handles battles in a different way than most tactical RPGs. At the start of each stage, you pick 3 students to join Faye. On your turn, you get a single pool of action points that the whole team shares. The cost of each character's action goes up the more they act. Their first action costs 1 point, the second costs 2, the third costs 3, and so on. If you switch to another character, their first action still costs 1 point, but the higher costs you built on your other characters stay in place for the rest of your turn. This is Demonschool's way of saying that you need to make sure that you're making the most out of every character's action. You can test actions at any time without locking them in. When you undo an action, the action points you spent are refunded. Nothing becomes final until you commit the turn. This makes careful planning a big part of the game, and it can lead you to restart a battle if you want the bonus goal or if too many party members fall. Once you commit the turn, all chosen actions play out in order. After that, the enemy takes its turn. When the enemy turn ends, every character's action point cost resets back to 1. Every battle in Demonschool gives you a clear goal. Most of the time, you'll need to defeat a set number of enemies. But that's only the first part. At least one character has to reach the edge of the stage. Until that happens, enemies will keep spawning, and will make it harder to move forward. Some stages will ask you to beat a boss or survive special conditions, but every stage has a bonus challenge based on how fast you finish the stage. Demonschool even shows a par, like in golf, which is an approximate minimum number of turns one can take to finish the fight. The better you play, the more class credits and opal you get. Notice anything missing? It's true. Demonschool's battles reward no experience points and no leveling for your characters at all. There's no grinding and no way to significantly power up between fights. Because of this, every fight depends on how well you use and know your options. It also matters which actions you choose first and which ones you use after. Faye and Destin shove enemies back 1 tile when they attack. Namako can slip past enemies and push them toward the space where she started. This also stuns them and lowers their defense. If you trap an enemy between 2 allies, you trigger a combo attack that deals heavy damage. Newt, the team's healer and buffer, can't attack on his own, but he can still join combos, and he's quite helpful in those moments. Each real action adds to a character's special meter. This includes attacks, heals, and other activated actions, but it doesn't include simple movement. When the meter is full, you can use a strong special move, like an area attack or a ranged heal, giving you more options. When you need a small adjustment, Sidestep lets you move left or right by 1 tile at no AP cost. It can open up an attack or heal that was just out of reach. This might sound like a small thing, but in a game where AP costs rise fast and your pool is limited, it helps a lot. That doesn't mean that you can't customize your team in Demonschool. Each character can equip 2 techniques and 1 aspect shift, classes, which gives you a bit of room to tune their style. 2 party members at a time can take part in a study session to learn a new technique. These sessions cost class credits in a rest period. A rest period doesn't bench that character in battle. It just means they can't study again right away. You can also buy techniques with Opal at the shop, though even the cheapest ones cost 1,500. These upgrades won't make your team overpowered, but they can help when a fight gets rough. And I can't stress this enough. Your goal is to defeat enemies in the most efficient way you can. Because of that, battles feel less like random fights and more like small puzzles, closer to Into the Breach than a traditional tactics game. I use the word puzzles carefully though. Calling them that can make it sound like you might get stuck. Demonschool isn't built that way. No matter how you choose to clear a stage, you can still move forward, and your perished allies will all spring to life upon doing so. The game does show a par, and you earn better rewards for meeting it, but you never have to reach that mark to move forward. This can make the customization system feel less important in the early hours, since you can clear most of the stages without it. But later fights may push you to use certain techniques as things get more complex. Even so, you can ignore every technique you learn and still aim for par if you want a challenge, much like in a Souls game. And if you prefer an easier run, you can turn on the almost invincible option. Like social links in Persona, Demonschool has connections. You can spend time with as many characters as you want, and time won't move forward. A few connection stories only open at set points, but most appear as you play. And while your party members don't gain experience in battle, your connections do. They level up when you pick certain dialogue choices, and they can also grow when you bring them into fights. Some scenes have small mini-games, which give you a short break from the rest of the game. As a small note, the game may seem linear at first. Since the story only moves forward when you trigger the main quest, it can look like there's only one path. But Demonschool actually has multiple endings. Some are silly, while others are harder to reach. And the more I played, the more Demonschool felt like a punk rock RPG. It takes wild swings and is bold in its execution. In some ways, it also reminded me of the older Shin Megami Tensei games, which had a strong counterculture vibe. But Demonschool goes even further by using ideas from Italian horror cinema. The strange places, bright colors, and odd characters all add to the tone. When you talk to faculty, they mention the end of the world in a calm way, which shows how unusual this setting is. Talking to random NPCs adds to that feeling, and the short dialogue makes these scenes easy to read. The result is a mix of style and tactics that feels unique and a bit unsettling. The kind that you'll mistake for, well, a mistake. It is actually deliberate in its design. That's a big part of what I've come to admire in Demonschool. It could have copied its inspirations, and early on, I almost wanted it to. But instead, it kept leaning harder into its weird ideas, as if the game grabbed me and dragged me from one sharp line of dialogue to the next odd location. It felt loud, messy, and bold, like a great grindhouse horror flick that sticks with you because it never plays it safe. This all might sound rough and even a strange endorsement, but frankly, the payoff has been worth it. So if you're sick of grinding, love planning every move, and want a world that feels familiar yet strange, Demonschool is an easy recommendation. I'm Lexi, and thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, as I'm trying to reach the magical goal of 55,000 subscribers. We are so close. Okay, I'll catch you in the next one.